everyone, I'm Judith Hope, an Akashic Channel, Third Eye Activator, and Interdimensional Communicator. This channel is for everything you need to know about current galactic events, Starseed and Third Eye activations, galactic history, and 5D consciousness. So, if you want to learn about all these topics and how to activate your third eye, hit that subscribe button. Today we're going to talk about all the signs that you, my friend, could be a starseed. So, you might be wondering, what exactly is a starseed? So, in short, a starseed is someone whose soul did not originate on planet Earth, but on another planet and star system, and this soul is here physically incarnated in a human body, aka born as a human being, in order to help Earth during this time of great awakening, a collective shift in consciousness and ushering the era in of new Earth. So, basically helping to move our planet from 3D to 5D consciousness. Many of us on planet Earth live the first few years of our lives, or in my case, like the first 30 years of my life, not remembering that we are starseeds, not remembering that we have a whole galactic history and identity of who we were prior to being born on planet Earth in our current physical human form. So, I wanted to compile a few signs that show you that you might be a starseed. This list is not exhaustive of all signs, but is the top 7 and most relevant to the community of individuals that will be receiving this message in divine timing. And a quick note before we get started. This message is channeled directly from the Akasha and a few other guides, including many aquatic beings from the time period of Atlantis and Lemuria. The way I channel these messages is that I open the Akashic Records and ask the most pertinent guides to step forward. I then receive the messages through all 4 clairsenses and my galactic channel, primarily using clairvoyance, claircognizance, and clairsentience. As I receive it, I physically type it into my MacBook. So, in today's video, I will be reading a previously channeled and typed message, which I channeled in December of 2024. So with this, let's get to the message. Sign number 1 that you might be a starseed. Many starseeds from a very young age, think a baby, maybe 2 years old, up to 5 years old, are questioning why they are here. Now, this is not necessarily verbalized, but many of the starseeds being born today are able to verbalize actual words at a very young age. For those of us starseeds who came here in the second half of the 20th century or the early 2000s, though, this showed up differently for us. Constant crying and babble. For myself, when I was 1, 2, up to almost 3 years old, I would speak in what my parents would call a babble, but I was trying to speak my language from my Pleiadian incarnations, where I'd been when I made the decision to come to Earth to help with the ascension of the planet from 3D to 5D consciousness. So, I was born in the late 80's, and I was told that several of the other starseeds that came in on the same wave as me also attempted to speak their native star languages or the languages of their last physical incarnation after physically arriving on Earth as a baby. So, some things that we are seeing in the starseed babies being born now. So, for those of you that have kids or are planning to have kids, a few messages here came through. Many young kids today that will talk on the phone to their imaginary friends are actually contacting their counterparts that are still physically incarnated on other planets, and many of these ETs are in spaceships that are hovering right around planet Earth, either shielded or just out of reach from being scanned by Earth technology. So, quick note, I channeled this message back in December 2024. This video is being recorded in January 2025, and we now have many more spaceships entering Earth's atmosphere, more so than before. That will all be revealed in due timing, but I did want to note here that it is even easier now for these babies and children to communicate, and they might start communicating even more frequently because of this. Oh, another thing with both current Starseed children and those of us Starseed children that are now Starseed adults is that many Starseed children are doing energetic work as babies, even as young as being a newborn. When I tap into this, it feels like as soon as the parents leave them in their crib or another resting area to play or sleep, they can do their work, sending out codes, messages, activations on the planet, and it feels like many of the parents had no idea this was being done, especially for those born in the late 1900s, as previous generations were truly trapped in the matrix and the density of the planet, even more so than today. The reference I received for this was the 2017 movie Boss Baby. I've never actually seen this movie, but I did see the trailer several times before it hit the theater, and I distinctively remember that when the parents went away, the baby put on a business suit and started doing some type of work that the parents weren't aware of. They just thought he was a regular baby. But in reality, he had so much more going on. This is the Starseed way. Sign number 2, you might be a starseed. For many starseeds, things on planet Earth are not quite what they're used to. Oil feels especially foreign to starseeds, but even water in a way can feel very, very different than it does on other planets and star systems. So, there is a lot of confusion as a young starseed child and a lot of questions, such as why do things work the way they do? Starseeds can also sense more through our third eyes as children and still have direct galactic communication lines to our star family and galactic heritage prior to our third eye calcifying around age 5. We are able to speak easily and receive messages from our star family prior to this time and see much, much more than the dense physical 3D around us. I want to note here that this is all children, not just starseeds, that have a stronger connection to their third eye and can often see spirits that are just beyond the veil. But this message is specifically pertinent for starseed children because of the starseed connection between the third eye and throat chakra, which allows for things such as light language and different codes to come through when speaking or singing. So, for many of us starseeds, we are giving off voice activations when we speak, we sing, chant, etc., even in our day-to-day conversations. So yes, right now, as you listen to me speak, I am sending out light codes to you through my voice, through simply speaking in English. You will not feel these light codes immediately, but they will help you activate your third eye as you continue to listen here, and also as your guides intuitively draw you to other starseeds to listen to them speaking or talking on their different podcasts and shows. Yes, it is a thing. Many of us receive activations as we are listening to our favorite podcasts and radio shows. Unfortunately, yes, the opposite can also be true. We can also become more dense and less clear in our third eye if we are listening to the voices of those souls who have a malintention to keep planet Earth and all who reside here in the third dimension, firmly rooted in the reality here that feels like real, but it is so far from reality, it would be laughable to most of you sarcastic folks out there once you have awakened and stepped into the light fully. So, going back to starseeds as babies and children, because of all of this, many starseeds would throw tantrum and become frustrated at a young age due to the overstimulation and not understanding the world around them. For many of us, this became lodged in our throat chakra as, during this time as children, we were disciplined by our parents, who were not awake, not spiritually conscious, and typically felt that children should just behave. This is why, for many of us, we are afraid to talk about things that are non-mainstream or accepted by society, and thus this had led to a large portion of starseeds born in the 80s and 90s that are not fully connected and consciously aware of their galactic heritage, DNA, and healing and channeling abilities. If this is you, you will feel this internally and will feel connected to your parents' behavior and discipline towards you during the first 5 years of your life. It will feel like an internal constriction of something more, something that is wanting to rise to the surface, but you just can't put your finger on what it is. Sign number 3, that you might be a starseed. So, as starseeds, it can be difficult to really truly understand how dense the planet is and the effect that it has on people until we get here. I think particularly for me, when my soul got here and saw the reality of what it feels like to be on this planet, it was completely overwhelmed, and this feeling was affecting me across multiple timelines here on Earth. Compared to other planets that are operating at a higher vibration, Earth can feel like a prison. What we consider reality is not reality at all, so coming here and knowing that we have to incarnate into this and pull ourselves out can feel quite terrifying once we physically and energetically feel the density of Earth. This can cause us to question why we came here. Why would we put ourselves through this? The thought that constantly ran through my head was, why would I want to do this to myself? And sometimes when life got tough, this is why I didn't want to do this. With these thoughts racing through our minds, this can lead to a lot of depressive thoughts, and this is why so many starseeds struggle with depression and unfortunately sometimes addiction too. One example for me is that as a starseed who had a hard time grounding and feeling connected to my earth body in the past, I would often overeat or eat when I was not hungry in order to try and ground into my body more. My soul and consciousness wanted to leave my body and fly off somewhere, and I would overeat as a way to try and stay in my body fully. Sign number 4, you might be a starseed. Missing our star family and our home planet. For many of us starseeds currently here on Earth, we often miss our lives before coming to Earth. In fact, this can feel so intense that sometimes it is hard to really step into the Earth experience while we're here. I know for me, I have really struggled with this the past few years, wondering, when am I going to reconnect with my star family? When am I going to remember who I once was? When am I going to be able to go home? And this is an extremely important message I received from my soul and from my guides, and now I'm here sharing with all of you. Our souls put a lot of work into the choice to physically incarnate here on planet Earth. So while we are here, we need to enjoy it. The planet and all of the fun, unique things it has to offer, the particular type of television and storytelling we have here, The ability to speak our mind here on a planet where there is a lower level of consciousness, yes, on other planets you cannot do this because there's sometimes not free will and more information is shared automatically and psychically through people. The unique experience of going to college and partying in your late teens and 20s, while it exists on other planets, is very special here in the US, something that feels nostalgic to life forms on other planets. The experience of having so many fun and unique things to do, like music festivals, a lot of this has developed because we are so technologically advanced on Earth, while spiritually we are mostly still in darkness. Sign number 5, you might be a starseed. The fragility of the human body is something that many starseeds struggle with. Human DNA on Earth is not as advanced as human DNA on other planets, so coming into a body on planet Earth can sometimes feel like a shock to a starseed. Why are we aging so fast? Why are things breaking down so quickly? Non-Earth humans and other types of ETs have much longer lifespans. The current typical human lifespan of about 80 years or so can feel very jarring to a starseed. For me personally, I have struggled with how fast I am aging. The feeling that comes to mind is, why are these fine lines appearing so fast? This took so much longer on other planets. Think of it this way. An ET who is hundreds of years old may look like they are in their 40s, or as I like to say, their 40s in Earth years. The idea that is coming to mind is a reference to Sarah J. Maas's Akatar series, in which humans live much shorter lives than the Fae, who still age but look like they are in their 20s after 400 or 500 years of life. So, just to be clear, because I think this is important to note, ETs do not often live as long as the Fae in that particular series, thousands upon thousands of years, but rather they do typically live for hundreds of years. It is difficult for many starseeds as well because of the way our medical system operates on planet Earth. Things like sound healing, plant medicine, and energy healing are often not taken seriously here, and part of this is because they are not as advanced as they are on other planets. Therefore, it is difficult for starseeds to embrace and trust the medical system, and why so many of us, starseed or not, often find ourselves having to work very, very hard to find the right medical care. An important note here is the way that planet Earth has been treated in terms of being harvested and forested for medicinal purposes. The vibration of the Earth has suffered for this, and the potency of plant medicine has been affected. On other planets, plants and thus plant medicine are much more nourished and vibrationally higher, therefore making their potencies and healing abilities stronger. This is part of the reason why plant medicine has not been truly legitimized on planet Earth and within the Western culture. Sign number 6 that you might be a starseed. The air feels harder to breathe on planet Earth. The example that was given to me when I channeled this information is the Red Rocks Amphitheater, which is a concert venue located in the Red Rocks and higher altitude of Denver, Colorado. When you arrive there, the air feels noticeably thinner. This is what it feels like to arrive on planet Earth for an ET and for a starseed. Also, why is it so cold here? Why do the seasons turn so quickly? This is especially pertinent for starseeds who may not have experienced lifetimes in incarnation on Earth-like planets. For yes, Earth is not that special in the fact that there are many, many planets and realms that are very similar to Earth. To the human mind, they might seem better, something of fairy tales, and in many ways they are because their colors are more vibrant to the human eye and vegetation may be more lush and larger. However, let us not take for granted Earth's comparison to many other planets that are not as beautiful, that are more barren, and where ETs cannot live in the type of abundance that is possible on Earth. If only key systems and decision points can be upgraded and built during the process of ascension into New Earth. In fact, because of the differences of Earth to other planets, many starseeds spend time exploring planet Earth in spirit form prior to their incarnation. This is especially pertinent of starseeds who have spent the majority of their physical incarnations in water-preferring types of human hybrid bodies, such as amphibian humanoids and those starseeds whose most common form is galactic mermaid. These starseeds primarily hail from Sirius and fifth dimension consciousness. For me, when I go into my own personal records, I have a lot of lifetimes on planets that feel similar to Earth. Although not exactly the same, and something to be explored in later episodes, particularly those planets where Lyrans live that were unfortunately destroyed during the Lyran and Draco Wars. So for me, this effect has always been less, but for those starseeds who do not have many lifetimes on other planets, they will often experience sensitivity to sound and popping in their ears. They can often feel irritation in their throats and are more prone to chronic sinus infections. Sign number 7 that you might be a starseed. There is an attraction to live music for starseeds because it is compiled and feels so different on planet Earth than other planets. We are actually more removed from the true frequencies in music on planet Earth as we are on other planets and in less dense physical bodies. So, we experience it quite differently here, especially when it comes to seeing music live. Starseeds prefer music that moves them and takes them to another place. It reminds them in some way of who they are, even if they are completely asleep and unaware of their true soul identity. In a way, starseeds are able to time travel back to another planet just by hearing the frequency or undertone in a certain song. Music also helps us, as starseeds, remember who we are, but also opens up our channel of expression and helps us to bring frequencies down to the planet. This is why our spirit teams in the universe are constantly sending us the music that will help us upgrade. Ever wonder why certain songs pop up on your Spotify list? These are being sent to you for a very particular reason, as a unique code to you. Sometimes you consciously understand the code, sometimes if the lyrics in the song are speaking directly to you, while sometimes it's more of an undertone or frequency that is affecting you. This is helping to loosen the constriction around many of us starseeds' throat chakras as we continue to awaken, and there are starseeds on this planet who are currently incarnated as musicians who are creating the music to do this, to vibrationally lift the frequency of planet Earth, but also lift the frequency and unlock codes within starseeds as well. So, if any of this sounds familiar or resonates with you, you, my friend, might be and probably are a starseed. So, hit that subscribe button to learn more, as my content is focused on everything about starseeds, ETs, galactic history, and current galactic news. I also offer soul origin and life purpose readings, so if any of this resonated with you, I encourage you to consider booking a reading with me. We can confirm if you are a starseed, if you have a mission here to help the planet Earth, what star system or systems you are from, and how you can align as a starseed to your fullest potential. So, that's all for now. Enjoy your time on planet Earth, and see you soon.